Since the White House changes occupants pretty frequently, each president spends loads of money redecorating it to suit their tastes. But none have spent more than Donald Trump. The almost $2 million worth of remodeling the Trump family has done includes thousands of dollars spent on rugs and wallpaper, as well as lots of gold decor. Its most expensive makeover yet, but the Obamas spent only $250,000 less. Here's a look inside the White House under Trump, as well as the most expensive remodels done by past presidents. The White House is America's house, but that doesn't mean the whole country gets to say in how it's decorated. And that's good. Construction on the president's home began in 1792, but since then, it's gotten plenty of remodels to make it suitable for each new occupant. The huge home has 4 floors and 132 rooms, so it's no wonder that redecorating can cost a lot of money. But does it really need to cost millions? After 45 presidents, the historic building has gone through many different looks, from color schemes to furniture. Each new president has also spent more and more on their renovations, and by now, the White House is estimated to be worth about $400 million. Donald Trump has spent the most money renovating of any president so far. His White House remodel cost about $1.75 million. It includes things like classic oil paintings, military service flags, portraits of Andrew Jackson and Teddy Roosevelt, who are some of his favorite presidents, and lots of gold curtains to replace the maroon ones in the Oval Office. Trump is particularly fond of gold, which is pretty evident when you take a look at his home away from home, the glitzy and glamorous Mar-a-Lago. While the renovation was underway, Trump spent 17 days at his Bedminster Golf Club. He needed the space away from the project, while a team of 200 worked on the bigger things that needed refreshing, including replacing the 27-year-old heating and cooling system, refreshing the paint and carpets throughout the offices and meeting rooms, and hanging Trump's chosen wallpaper in the Oval Office. That wallpaper in particular costs more than $5,000. It's a patterned ivory that he's shown off on a few media tours. $5,000 might seem expensive, but we also have to consider that the Oval Office has 18-foot-high ceilings. Another thing that Trump splurged on are furniture pedestals, which are basically fancy tables used to hold things like vases and busts of past presidents. He spent $7,000 on a lot of them, using them throughout his offices to add a royal touch. According to Fortune, Trump also had a custom $12,800 table built to hold his conferences. The table came from Kittinger Furniture Company, which is the same company that built Richard Nixon's custom table in 1969, though Nixon paid for his table out of pocket. Neither Trump nor the White House have disclosed whether Trump's table was a gift from himself to the White House or it came from the budget for remodeling. The 45th president also spent a pretty penny on rugs, $17,000 to be exact. These expensive area rugs are featured in the Oval Office and the Roosevelt Room, which is a meeting room in the West Wing of the White House. But the largest single expenditure of the entire Trump redecoration was $291,000 from a vendor of office walls that was designated for the U.S. Trade Representative. Another $240,000 was spent on a contract with a Virginia-based office furniture dealer for, quote, wood office furniture manufacturing. But there aren't any details on which pieces of wooden office furniture were bought through this contract. Other mysterious expenditures are the $29,000 spent on upholstered household furniture manufacturing, and another $10,000 for floor coverings. As for what Trump definitely paid for out of his own pocket, he claims to have bought the huge crystal chandelier hanging from the ceiling in his private study, though he's never revealed just how much the expensive-looking piece cost. First Lady Melania Trump also put her own personal touches on some of the White House's rooms. Most notably, she redid the Rose Garden to mixed reviews. She also took part in the design of a 1,200-square-foot tennis pavilion that was funded by private donors. But the most fun room she got to renovate is probably the home's bowling alley. Yep, you heard that right. The White House has its own bowling alley, and it's thought to be worth $500,000. It was originally built for Harry Truman in 1947, and then Richard Nixon moved and remodeled it in 1969. President Barack Obama and his family spent less on remodeling when he was in office, but not much less. Their total redecoration costs came in at around $1.5 million, but Obama made a point of paying for some of the new White House furnishings out of pocket. More than a third of these remodeling costs was on the White House State Dining Room. About $590,000 was poured into the room, which was used for receptions and state dinners. Michelle Obama was in charge of the remodel, and she focused a lot on color. The entire room featured a lot of of blue to remind Barack Obama of the Hawaiian waters near where he grew up. When the Obamas were in office, they also gave a tour of their private wing of the house. It was decorated by Michael S. Smith and featured touches of modern art from the 20th and 21st century, mixed with antiques belonging to the White House. The Obamas also took part in a huge restoration project of historical furniture while they were there. The Bellangé restoration project began in 2013 and was completed in 2018, costing the Historical Association more than $450,000. The pieces were from a suite of French furniture that President James Monroe ordered in 1817. Since changing rugs seems to be one of the preferred ways of making the Oval Office suitable for a new president, George W. Bush spent $62,000 on the iconic sunburst rug when he moved in. There is no word on whether Bush paid for the rug himself or not, but it was designed by First Lady Laura Bush. Bush's most expensive addition, however, was a china set, a $492,000 formal china set to be exact. His more casual china set was $74,000, which actually seems pretty modest in comparison, but was introduced to the White House just 2 weeks before the Obamas moved in. While the Clintons were in office, they also decided to remodel the state dining room. They spent $341,000 on the room in 1999 and used the White House's budget to cover the costs. Arkansas-based designer Cocky Hockersmith decorated Bill Clinton's Oval Office while he was president, while First Lady Hillary Rodham Clinton unveiled a renovated blue room in 1995. Her most notable change was replacing the blue wallpaper with yellow wallpaper. Ooh, living on the edge, Clintons. The restoration project was financed by private donations to the White House Historical Association, and the Clintons chose not to use another $50,000 appropriated by Congress for the project. Much of the fabric and other decorative materials for the curtains were instead donated directly by manufacturers. Throughout its many years of being the people's house, the White House has had a lot of interesting rooms added, moved, and redone. If you thought the bowling alley was pretty cool, you'll also be interested to know that the White House even has its own movie theater. Franklin D. Roosevelt was responsible for turning a former cloakroom into the dedicated family theater it is today. It's located in the East Wing on the first floor and has 42 seats. Movie studios make their films available for screenings upon presidential request, and Trump's first private screening in this room was Finding Nemo in 2017. Two more interesting and kind of strange rooms are the China Room and the Vermeil Room. The China Room was designated by First Lady Edith Wilson in 1917 to hold the White House's growing collection of state china. You know, that stuff that Bush spent almost $500,000 on? The room even features china dating back to George Washington's presidency. Meanwhile, the Vermeil Room houses a collection of gilded silver tableware. It was converted from a social room in 1956 when expensive silver pieces were gifted to the White House by American heiress Margaret Thompson Biddle. The room also features portraits of several first ladies. Another fun room is the game room, which features a pool table and allows the president and their family to enjoy a little time off. A number of presidents have owned pool tables in the White House, situating them in rooms such as the map room and even the Vermeil room. The current game room was once a bedroom, and no one is sure when exactly it was converted, but the White House Museum states that the room dates back to at least the George H.W. Bush era. Did you know that each president is given a budget of only $100,000 to redecorate? It was set in 1999, but each president since then has spent way more. Don't forget to hit that like button if you enjoyed this video, and subscribe for more. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.